Hello, members of Cricket Australia and the Australian Cricketers Association. My name is Galen Gallagher, and I'll be acting as a conflict manager from Texas A&M University. Today, I will be assisting the two organizations in resolving the conflict involving the former Australian cricket athletes caught cheating. I'd like to start by first laying out who each organization is and then stating the underlying problem between the two said organizations. Cricket Australia. According to your own website, you were founded in 1892 and again in 1905 as the Australian Board of Council for International Cricket and then renamed in 2003 to Cricket Australia. You act as the national governing body for the sport of cricket in Australia. Australian Cricketers Association. According to your website, you were founded in 1997 with the goal of protecting the rights of all first-class Australian cricket athletes, past and present, and to also provide support for those athletes. On March 24, 2018, Cameron Bancroft, an Australian cricket athlete, was caught tampering with the ball during a match. After the investigation, it was shown that he was using sandpaper on the ball, and the team captain, Steve Smith, admitted to have known about the tampering of the ball beforehand. A few days later, vice captain for the team, David Warner, was found to have been responsible for the planning of the tampering of the ball. According to the information given to me by my eCampus page, Warner was punished with a 12-month ban from all cricket, Smith was punished with a 9-month ban and a 100% match fee, and Bancroft was punished with a 9-month ban and a 75% match fee. This is when the Australian Cricket Association stepped in and challenged the fairness of the sanctions presented. They challenged this on the basis that they were disproportionate according to BBC News. I would first like to begin by saying that I am deeply sorry for this event that has occurred, and I believe there is justification in the responses produced by both organizations. To begin, cricket is a beloved sport in Australia. You all have won several titles. According to TopEndSports.com, you hold the record for the most World Cups won at 5. You are also held to high standards. Former England cricket player Graham Swan has stated, the Australian team has positioned themselves a higher-than-high pious team who set the benchmark for what is right and what is wrong in cricket. And even David Warner is on record commenting about the ball tampering in South Africa. I would be very disappointed if one of our team members did that. The rules are in place for a reason. If you are not going to use them, why bother having them? After all of this, it is understandable the route taken by Cricket Australia. Even though those fines were considered over the top, your cricket program was held to a higher standard. So when your organization was faced with a dilemma, you acted accordingly. Now, Australian Cricketers Association, you challenged Cricket Australia, stating that the sanctions they posted were disproportionate and unprecedented, stating that they were more severe than the sanctions passed by the ICC. The goal of your association is to represent current and former Australian athletes and to represent them. I believe that you saw an injustice happening to an Australian cricketer, and you acted to justify it. I believe that one thing is clear here. Both parties are overall interested in the preservation of the Australian cricket, and through that, the cricketers deserve to be sanctioned for their actions. Where there is disagreement is by how much sanctions. I suggest we begin by going over some communication techniques. I believe the biggest skill we can use here is transparency. This will allow us to set rules for communication through the discussion and will also allow both parties to voice their opinions openly. I believe the best form of negotiation for this scenario is integrative bargaining. This will allow us to approach a conclusion that will best suit both parties for the sharing of information and ideas, as well as play out the relationship these two organizations have had. As I have stated before, the only disagreement I see here is how much sanctions these cricket players should receive. I believe that after sharing the information between each other, we can come to a closer agreement that works for both parties. I think the best way to have a discussion is to have a private caucus with a third-party mediator. This will help to avoid any communication barriers, as the mediator will allow one party to speak at a time, as well as avoiding any authority barrier. I also hope that this will assist in avoiding the my way and the my opinion barriers, as it will give incentives for each party to speak its opinion. Some potentials that I could see arise could be a my way barrier, in that one or both parties see their way of dealing with the situation is best. The other barrier that I could see arise is the authority barrier. The Cricket Australian organization is the actual governing body over the sport, while the other is just an association. I close with that I hope this conflict is resolved in the best way possible. Both organizations only want what is best for the sport of cricket, and I believe that through this, both parties can reach an agreement.